Welcome back to the Rockies franchise on MLB The Show 21, where we are 1 month away from the postseason in year 3. The Rockies are 8 games out of a wildcard spot. There isn't a lot of time for us to make up the necessary ground, and we still have 10 games remaining against the first place LA Dodgers. But we're going to give it our best shot in what has been the best season of the series. We opened the action today against the Seattle Mariners. We split the first 2 games, and we're going to spend some time here with a player who's finally playing up to expectations, at least recently. It's taken a while, but Trea Turner is playing the best he has all year after being one of our big signings of the last offseason. He's back at shortstop now after the trade of Javi Baez, and he's making more of a difference at the plate. His batting average has jumped with a 14-game hitting streak going into this matchup against the Mariners. He's still not hitting lefties well, however. He's only hitting .208 against them this season with 1 home run, and that has brought down his contact versus lefty rating and the power as well. Marco Gonzalez gets a couple of ground outs of him here to start this game. We'll take this into the 6th inning. Chris Flexen on the mound, now a righty, and the Rockies up 3-1. 15 of his 16 homers this year have been against righties, but he had a couple of pitches here to do some damage with and could not do it. So we're going to go to the 9th inning. Sir Anthony Dominguez in to try and end this one. A 3-2 game. Turner flips it to Rogers. He throws it to France at first, and that ends this Rockies win. They take 2 of 3 from Seattle. Going to need some sweeps and really can't afford to lose too many series here down the stretch. A little luck would be nice as well. Even if it doesn't help us get to the postseason, though, hopefully Trea Turner's improvement can carry over into next year and give us a better chance at competing. From the series against the Mariners to a 2-game set against the Rangers, we split that series and then take on the Arizona Diamondbacks. And one pitcher in this series I just haven't been able to figure out is Zach Gallen. He takes the mound as we have Bryan Reynolds. Bases loaded here in the 2nd. Already a couple of runs on the board. Trying to get that early damage done. Full count. 2 down. Runners leave early, and Reynolds pops this one up in foul territory for the catcher. Gallen limits the Rockies to just 2. Bringing in Bryan Reynolds has been a very popular move. There's been a lot of good feedback on that trade. Reynolds obviously hits for a high average, .289 right now in the series with a .365 on-base percentage. I feel like we're finally getting that stability toward the top of our lineup, and Reynolds still has a year of team control. Next year should be a jump in his arbitration salary, but it should be manageable, and I'd like to see him stick around for a while. Now, we had this nice 2-0 lead until a massive inning changed the game entirely for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Luis Severino and Touki Toussaint combined to give up 9 runs, and the Diamondbacks go on to win. By the way, what is their mascot? And why isn't their mascot like a giant snake? Diamondbacks win this game 11-3. Tough loss there. In the next 2 games, though, Rockies do bounce back and take that series. We've won a few in a row now, but it's the Dodgers games we really need to win. We dropped the first 2, LA wins easily, and we're not gaining any ground. In our last 10, we're 5-5, which is worse than 3 of the 4 teams ahead of us. The Braves have gotten into that 2nd wild card spot, so it really doesn't look good. But I still want to see how much improvement this team can get. We're 75-70. We're already 8 games better than we were last season, with plenty to play to raise the bar for year 3. Walker Buehler takes the mound for the Dodgers here in Game 3 from Dodger Stadium. And we'll have Luis Severino take the mound for the Rockies. Top 1, here's Brandon Nimmo, who has been very solid atop the order this season. He grounds out to short. And later in the inning, Ryan McMahon trying to jump on that curveball left up. Count goes even, and then this one hits him a little too far inside for Buehler. That brings up David Geronimo, 240 average, 18 home runs, and 45 runs batted in. Geronimo fouls off the high fastball. This count runs full. And this fastball's launched to left field. This one's gonna go back at the warning track, and there's enough room to end the inning. Just missed that one for Geronimo, and here is Luis Severino, 30th start on the season. The FIP is a good point higher than his ERA, so you could say he's been a little bit lucky this year, but I feel like this has been a really solid signing. Home runs have been a little bit of an issue for him, allowing 1.68 per 9 innings, but it is Coors Field where he's making a lot of his starts, so it's understandable. His numbers are very similar to his last year with the Yankees. Let's go top 2. There are the splits for Trey Turner. Very drastic. He's got to get better against left-handed pitching. 0-2 against Buehler, and he looks at strike 3 on the outside. There's that knuckle curve. First strikeout for Buehler. Next up, Brendan Rodgers, and this time he's able to draw the 4-pitch walk. That'll bring up Connor Joe, hitting .251 this year. And he patiently works this count, and the 3-2 backs him off the plate. 2 walks for Buehler. Now a chance for Dom Nunez to do some damage. It's been a little while. Ripped into right. Easily caught. We're not tagging. Dom has cooled off a bit as the season winds down. So the inning is left up to the pitcher, Luis Severino. 2-2. That's inside. Another full count for Buehler. And strike 3 swinging. Buehler gets through the inning. Used a few more pitches than he would like. But we'll go bottom 2. Corey Seager, did he go around? Yes, he did. Strike 3 on the high fastball. Severino has struck out 9.1 per 9 innings this year. That is his most since 2019. But then a walk and a hit by pitch put 2 aboard for the Dodgers. And here's one of their trade deadline acquisitions, Cavan Biggio from the Blue Jays. 2-2, over to first and caught. Almost a double play there for Connor Joe. 2 down. Missing outside to Brent Rooker. 3-2. And that is off the plate inside. So now this opportunity is coming down to Walker Buehler with the bases loaded. And he puts a good swing on it. Deep left center. Geronimo in the gap gets to it. Both teams wish they had the universal DH here in the second, but instead, no runs as we head to the third, where Brandon Nimmo smashes this base hit into center field. Beautiful 2-0 swing. Ryan McMahon, 0-1, he's ahead of it once again. 0-2, sat back a little bit more, but kind of jammed into center for an easy flyout. That brings up David Geronimo. Came very close to a homer last time, but Buehler gets him to chase a pitch in the dirt. Another strikeout to end the inning. Bottom 3, runner on first for Cody Bellinger. And on a pitch low and away, he lines it right back up the middle. A slow roller that allows the runner to move all the way to third base. Severino trying to keep the run from scoring, but that's not going to happen. Base hit Corey Seager. Dodgers go up 1-0. First and second for the Dodgers. Will Smith falls behind, and Severino comes back to strike him out. That leaves the inning up to Max Muncy, who chases the fastball way inside. Severino with 2 big strikeouts to end the inning. There's a good swing by Trey Turner, but can't do anything there. Good catch by Biggio. Bottom 4, LA. And Biggio turns on one. Deep right. Back goes Nimmo, and this one just gets out. Solo homer. Dodgers go up 2-0. Probably left the slider a little too high on that pitch. Mookie Betts at the plate with a 2-0 count and 2 down. And he's going to get this past first base. Another slow roller. You know Betts is going to take second. Are the Dodgers done here in the fourth? Carlos Asuaje with a base hit into left field. Betts rounds third. Geronimo hits the cutoff, and Asuaje trying to take second. He's out. But Betts had already scored, and the Dodgers increased their lead 3-0. Slow start against Walker Buehler. Dom Nunez starts the fifth by drawing a walk. Trying to get a run any way we can here. Severino puts down a really good bunt, and then this lob made things a little interesting there at first base. Runner in scoring position. There's a drive by Nimmo. Deep in the right center gap, and Betts gets to it. Nunez hustling from second, gets to third just in time. Now Reynolds trying to bring home the Rockies' first run. Again to right center, but this one is not actually hit all that deep, and Betts ends the inning. Great outing in the making once again for Walker Buehler. Top six, a pitch to hit for McMahon. Hit to right, and Betts will take care of that one as well. David Geronimo on the first pitch. It's lifted to center, but in comes Bellinger. Second out of the inning. Two away, Trey Turner gets a breaking ball, and it's driven into left field. Back over the head of Brent Rooker, and a two-out double. I want to say that's the second hit here for Colorado. Brendan Rodgers up next, and that's a fair ball down the left field line into the corner. Turner scores easily. A two-out rally for the Rockies. Back-to-back doubles. They're finally on the board and have taken Walker Buehler out of the game. Although against the Dodgers, whether it's their starters or the bullpen, you're never really going to get much of a rest, it seems. Josiah Gray comes in. Connor Joe tries to extend the inning, and he gets ahead. 3-1. That's high. Joe reaches third straight for the Rockies. So here's Nunez again. A bit in front of the fastball. Count goes 2-2. And Gray gets him out in front. Strike three to end the rally. Still a close game, trying to keep it that way. Alex Colomé enters for the Rockies and strikes out Kevin Biggio on the cutter. Next up, Brent Rooker, strike three, swinging again back to the cutter. Zach McKinstry pinch hits. Cutter gets the first strike. That's all we're throwing here with Colomé. Until we switch it up with a changeup to end the inning, striking out the side. I think Colomé's been really good for us. Now we have to find a way to do something against Brusdar Graterol, who has been lights out this season. Trey Turner, 2-0. It's lined into right field, and Betts has this one. Brendan Rodgers gave us the RBI double earlier. And that's driven into left center field. Good swing again for Rodgers. It goes all the way to the wall. That's his second straight two-out double. We'll take whatever we can get. Connor Joe looking for a base hit to score. Rodgers, and it's grounded to third base to end the eighth. Rockies waiting until they have two down to really try to get anything going. Scott Oberg enters in the eighth, and Corey Seager will beat the shift. They did such a good job in this game of just hitting it where we ain't. It's a leadoff double. Two batters later, here's Max Muncy, and Oberg picks up a big strikeout. Kind of a forgetful day here for Muncy, his second strikeout. Biggio up to try and extend the inning, and he grounds this to Turner. End of the eighth. Rockies got to score two, though, to extend this game, and in comes Blake Trinan, 41 of 45 on save opportunities. Bottom of the order here for the Rockies, Dom Nunez. We've had so many big hits from him this year. Trying to get through the shift. That's not going to happen. Off the bench, Ty France. First pitch, past third base into left field. Tying run comes to the plate for Colorado. And we have Brandon Nimmo, 1 for 4 on the day. That is low, just below the zone. Got a pitch up now. Nimmo into left field. And waiting under it is Rooker, out number 2. This is going to come down to Bryan Reynolds. Someone you definitely want at the plate in these situations, but he fouls off the slider. Very hittable. 2-2 from Trinan, and Reynolds looks at strike 3. That is ball game. Dodgers take the first 3 from the Rockies, ensuring another series win for them. It's their 100th win of the season. And for the Rockies, maybe just a reminder that we're not quite there yet. I'm not too disappointed by it. I didn't expect this to be a 2-year turnaround for the Rockies. Was hoping to make this a little bit closer, but I think that we're seeing that the team is probably a good 10 games away from being a playoff team right now in the National League. We end up being swept by the Dodgers, scoring 4 runs in 4 games. That should pretty much tell you that it's over, even if we're still, I guess, 6 games away from being eliminated. We're 9.5 games out of first place. So we are kind of looking ahead to next season and what we can do better. So let's go down to AAA. There's one player that I think will make the roster next season, and that is Ryan Vilade. He plays everything in the infield. I feel like he hasn't made the roster yet because Connor Joe has just been good and he can also play a lot of different positions. But when we look at where we are with players like Garrett Hampson, maybe it's time to bring up some new players and try some new things out. Vilade has been a decent hitter this year, a 250 average, 801 OPS. He's hit 15 home runs, and his development this year across the board has been impressive. Right now, his defense is probably his best skill. He's also pretty fast, so if you need a pinch runner, I think he'll have some value there. So coming off the bench, there is a chance that he ends up making the roster a year from now. He is on our 40-man roster, and he has been at spring training, where we have sent him down, obviously. We've used 2 out of his 3 minor league options, so we want this to work soon before his options are used up. There's a nice swing from Vilade, a perfect swing, base hit into left field. When it comes to the bench spots going forward, I think we have to have a bit more competition next year. With Jonathan Daza and Garrett Hampson not playing very well this season, the bench just hasn't been very impactful. And what I love about the show is just how players can get hot or cold, and you don't have to always just look solely at the ratings. If players aren't playing well, it's a good idea to give somebody else an opportunity, and perhaps that opportunity will be there for Ryan Vilade in Season 4. Albuquerque picks up the win here against El Paso. We should have a chance to do some minor league playoffs before this season is done, and a deeper look at a lot of those players. Bryan Reynolds is now the team leader in home runs with 24. It's very clustered there at the top. Ryan McMahon has been in a cold streak recently, and one thing I've been a bit critical of in these last couple of seasons is player development at the major league level. Brendan Rodgers has gotten a lot better this season. He's hitting 249, so it's not like special 12 home runs, but the development is actually there this year. Whereas for Hampson, it's really slowed down, and you gotta wonder next year if we have to just look at a trade because it's just not working. For the pitching, I don't have a lot of concerns here. I feel like 4 out of the 5 starters are set going forward. Maybe John Gray gets someone to challenge him for that 5th spot next year. I do think that it'd probably be good for him to go to the bullpen and be a long reliever. German Marquez has been outstanding. Really like playing with Yanni Chirinos. And Andrew Heaney has put together a really good statistical year. I want to get a start with him in the next episode. I feel like we haven't seen that in a while. And he has the best WAR out of any starting pitcher on the team, ahead of Marquez. Severino comes in 4th there. I wonder if the home run per 9 is a big contributor for that. Andrew Heaney had a home run problem, but here in Colorado, he actually has done a really good job at preventing the long ball. That is going to do it for episode 51 of the Rockies franchise. Thank you all for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed the video and subscribe to the channel. I know that we're kind of falling out of the playoff hunt, but hopefully there are still some good moments here as the season comes to an end. Have a great weekend, everybody, and I'll see you next time.